What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this behind the scenes video of the short cinematic I shot called Dark Waters together with Frank and Max. In this video, we're going to talk about all the techniques that I used in that video, such as filming underwater, filming surf shots in the ocean, but also what kind of lighting equipment I used and, all the tips and tricks on lighting that I can think of. So a lot to talk about, so let's jump in. So the first sequence we're talking about is the swimming pool sequence. This is a difficult sequence because I had to search for a swimming pool that had blinds around the windows so I could control the lighting inside. Because I wanted to shoot this entire film very moody, I needed to be dark so we could build up the light from scratch. Eventually, after a ton of emails, I found a place that I could use for a bottle of wine, so that's pretty sick. We used a salty surf housing, underwater housing for the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. It is specifically designed for that camera. It is built like a tank, so I'm pretty comfortable using it in any environment whatsoever. Even like swimming pools or surfing in the ocean, doesn't matter. It is strong enough and it, fits my needs. So that is that. I used a black 4x3 meter sort of black molten curtain to hang into the swimming pool to eliminate any reflections and also to make it look like it was an ocean or like a pond or whatever, but to get that swimming pool feel out of it. Then we used a Godox VL300 as our main key light. We built it up next to the swimming pool and put it down into water to create some beam that would function as our key light. Then we used another VL150 or I switched it in between, a Godox LCU500R as our back kicker to create a little bit of separation. The second location is one of the old shipyard buildings in Amsterdam, the Goudfazant, and this is basically a very industrial building that I was searching for. So the only thing that we used here was a key light, which was the VL300, and a back kicker light that was the VL150. I used some diffusion cloth we had laying around from other softboxes to diffuse the backlight because the space was too small to put an entire softbox on top of it. So it was a very simple setup, but it worked very well because we had such a nice ambient lighting situation there. So that is it. So the third location and third sequence, maybe better, is the skate and workout sequence. So I rigged out the Blackmagic Pocket completely with a screen on top, microphone, a V-lock on the back, so I could push it against my body and utilize some sort of a 5-point stabilization technique. Because of that, I was able to get very stable footage from a moving car, and with a little bit of post-stabilization, I was pretty happy with the results. All right, for the interview, we used a very simple lighting setup. We wanted to create a moody film, so also this setting was, created pretty moody. Like there was a lot of contrast on the face. We used a Godox VL150 for the key light, this one. Then we used a Godox VL300 as the backlight as a kicker, this one. So to fill up the room a little bit, we used a LC500R to match the practical, so give a little bit more depth to the image. Our key light uses a parabolic softbox to create a nice smooth roll-off. I didn't really use a fill light because I felt like the contrast ratio was nice because I wanted something moody. So that was it basically. That was a very simple setup, but it was effective. And sometimes you don't need a lot of stuff. So for the B-roll shots, I basically just used the same key light, positioned it next to the windows, so to boost the outside lighting a little bit. We had a very nice overcast day. That meant that we didn't have to block off the windows from any sunlight. So that was very convenient, saved a shitload of time. So So the last piece of the puzzle, which ended up being a huge deal in this film, were the surf shots. On a Sunday, Max and I went to the beach really early. It was like 7 o'clock or something. I forgot my battery, so I had to drive back. That's how early it was. I shot some B-roll of him on the beach, then we jumped into the water, which was pretty difficult because I didn't have any gloves with me. It was 2 degrees Celsius outside and the water was freezing cold, so my hands were like, yeah, they didn't really hold up long. So I was in the water for I think 40 minutes and then I didn't feel my hands anymore. So it was very cold and it was very difficult to use the focus wheel because I just couldn't squeeze anymore. So that was a nice added challenge. But all that sort of it was just nice, you know, to go into the water, create some of those more extreme shots that really define the look of your film. So this film took me a long time to make, and it feels really good to see that you guys enjoy the video. If you haven't seen it, the link is in the description below, of course. If you have any questions after watching this entire video, let me know in the comments. I would love to answer them. And you know, it would really help if you just like this video so more people can find it. And I guess that's it. So I'll see you guys next Monday. Have a great one and stay safe, stay warm. At least in Holland, it's freezing cold. So, well, enough babbling. See you guys later.